We take the map, and here I'm putting basically the generic public information map daily, and I'll change it to the 15th. And then you have to do a JPEG of it and a PDF. So essentially going through your folder, which I have a lot of folders on my desktop. So the falls, I would take the map, open it to here, right? And then while that's loading, you take the PDF and load it to the bottom part. And alternate text, a lot of times I just copy, cut, paste, bam, 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 check the box, hit the incident, right? Falls or telephone, right? And then you got it and you hit save and then it'll publish. You could also do it as a draft if you don't want to send it right away, but that's your basic map. So if we remove that, we could go to a photo. And if you go through your photo library, we'll take today's lightning map and use that as our photo. So basically we'll update that, put the name in. You could preview it, say, is this really what I want? Right? Gives you the option to preview, and away you go. Basically post it to whichever page. So the only thing with the images is if you have two incidents, you have to do this twice for each item. Or you do, if it's a map, you do it twice. A photo, you could be selected for what you pick. Okay, and then you'd save it and it publishes it. And in order to find it, you could also go to your content, media, and go to your whole library and see what we've actually put in. So here, let's go to falls. It always auto-populates, filter it, and then we can see what our latest photos have been on Inciweb, right? And you can edit these here. You can make sure they populate. Videos are the same way as adding a photo. Okay. Any questions with media? Bueller? Does that seem like a decent flow for everyone? That workflow, content, and then you just media, add media, incident media item, takes you here, and that's how you get it. To get it on the home screen, you have to go to a different spot. This is the easy part, adding a media item.
Jacob, have you run into, so what I've started discovering on my last incident is I would send people to that exact screen, media, incident media, add media, and they would do all the steps that you just did, and then it would just keep populating errors. It wouldn't accept the item, even though it was the current format. It was, I don't know if you've run into that over this incident, or is it just a glitch? Is it?
So with that, Madison, right?
Yeah.
So Madison, with that, that would be a connectivity issue. That would be my first guess on that. So when you're not getting things to really load properly, it's either a connectivity issue or it's an error on the Drupal itself, on the page there. So, and if you run into issues like that and it's constant, you just kind of, my plan of action is I stop what I'm doing, I walk away, I do something different, and then I come back to it and check it. Or you can log in and log out. Those would be your two ways, right? Kind of hitting the reset button essentially. So yeah, that would be my guess would be connectivity, or it's an error on the Drupal side. So, but yeah, good question.
That's the same way I've been troubleshooting it too.
Okay.
I feel less crazy. Thank you.
Yeah, things happen. It's Inciweb. A lot of things happen. Any other questions? We'll move on to our second item, which is updating the 209. Okay. So going back to here, we'll go to this is kind of we'll go to the main menu. Okay. So in order to get to the 209 info, which is referred to as nodes, right? Group unit access. you click on the group unit access, which is the bar right below manage shortcuts J Welsh. So here is when we have access to the page, it'll auto populate. You type it in, Malheur National Forest, apply. So once you hit that apply button, you still have to go in and then you click the forest there. And that brings us to our basically incidents publications, what are referred to here as nodes, which is that's a programming thing. So one way to add somebody on here is you can go to the members and you just click the members page and add a member. So let's add somebody. Let's add how about Kent K. Romney? Uh, we could add him and make him a super user and give him a date. Since Kent isn't here, we won't do that, but you would just save it and you could add, if you could put somebody on for 2 weeks, usually the auto population is about 1 month. So it's pretty simple to add that, right? And we can click the back button to get back to our node. So basically to get back to this page, every time group unit access, search for the unit, type it in, and you have to do this quite often on Inciweb, which is kind of one of the pains which they did. So then we get back to here, right? And we go to nodes. Nodes are basically any publication or anything you put in. So you have your 2 main ones. That's the actual incident. You know, we won't get into creating an incident right here, but it's basically adding new. Okay, since we're here, it's pretty simple. You add new content, right? You add incident is you're adding a whole new incident, which when you get into here, you do your little spiel paragraph, your incident name, and all this comes from the dispatch center. And then your basic info, your start date, time zone, your size. And here's where you got to get it right. So incident coordinates need to be in degrees, minutes, seconds, which you could Google that and type it in and find some ways to do it. Or, you know, if you're entering a new incident, you could even probably reach out to dispatch if they're not overwhelmed, which they've been lately. And then once you put in all your stuff here, which will be very minimum when you create an incident, you got to be sure you can save it as a draft or you could publish it, and you always hit the save button, right? So that's creating an incident. Really easy. Then you can get into your sidebar on the right. You're getting into your, do you have a name? They could even say like false fire information line or fire information phone, an email, phone number, your hours. When you have multiple agencies or cooperators, you can get them in here. You can also do different links, different groups, and they have the little, this will populate your icons here. So you copy paste your whatever pages that you're managing here. Or you could add completely other things too. So, that's it. That's the group node to create an incident. Really simple. So let's go back. I'm going to bring us back to here to the shortcuts page, group unit access. We could have backspace, but this is something you have to get used to doing a lot. Group unit access, apply, click the forest, go to your nodes, and we're back. So some simple, we'll just do the tricks here. How to edit this. If you want to edit, you add your 209 information, right? So here you edit node, and it brings us to the incident overview. And then you want to get your 209 information, which should be right here, just auto-populated. So, and here, just download all. And then you want to grab it, grab your 209 information. A lot of times, what you really want to do to expedite the process is to copy, cut, and paste, right? So when you get your 209 info, for some reason these PDFs are, I can't really get them to copy. So when we look through here, what's our main thing we're looking at? Acreage, containment, with the falls, 95%. I think that's the same one. 5168 is the same. Um, but so sometimes if you're not getting, you're having trouble copying the PDFs, which on this fire for some reason it is, what I do is I take a screenshot, right? I take a screenshot, I click on that, and I take, here's the fire information, right? The fire behavior, and I'll take and I'll copy it off of a photo copy and go back to my 209, get rid of screenshot, and then find here, and then copy it, paste it, boom. Maybe highlight fire behavior narrative. So just doing that with all of it will save you a lot of time instead of grabbing a 209 hard copy and typing it in. I feel like I've seen a lot of that. Weather concerns, we would do the same thing. Follow your boxes, right, with your 209s. Take that photo with that, and here we go. Try to get this all copied, go back to your 209 page and paste. And then, doing this through the whole thing. And when you're finished, we'll go check out one more item, which is the easy item, is looking at our personnel. 864. Seems like we're going down based on attrition. So 864 total for all fires, 864. So we'll just go ahead and save that. There are more boxes to do, but for your time and for my time, we will prevent that. Okay. So I'll pause there and let's come back and return. Are there any questions regarding 209 updating processes? Does it seem pretty straightforward? It's all repetition. I got this down to go ahead, Sam.
So back in the day, you'd have to save often. Is it as hinky as that, or can you work all the way through all the boxes and then save?
Yeah, Sam, with this, you can actually populate all of your boxes, then save. It doesn't seem to glitch as much, but I tend to err. I'm like that from the old school days. I save often just because I don't want to go back and redo it. But typically you can get that PDF, right? You could just copy paste, and then clean it up because sometimes there's some things that are jumbled. But yeah, for some reason on this fire, I have to do that extra step of taking a photo of the PDF, copying out of the box, then pasting. So I don't know. Workarounds, right? There's always some workaround we're doing here as PIOs.
Cool, thanks.
Yeah. Any other questions on updating 209? Oh, let's go for, we'll revisit that page. I'll just show you how to highlight a different image. So we'll go back to the node. This time we'll go to the telephone, we'll edit the node. And how do you get those photos and highlight your images? This is just for you could do 3 images per page. So if I come up here, we've had Kyle Miller's photo up there a while. You delete it, and then you click on the add media, and then let's go see what's on the telephone here, if we got anything. Oh. And it always auto-populates, so you let it get in there, apply, and then see what we have. Oh, we got a couple Australians. That's great. So you click the box up here, insert selected, and then we have it here. We'll keep Kyle Miller's photo there, which is an amazing one. And then make sure that you save. And then once we go back to Inciweb telephone fire, we will see that we'll highlight information. We'll highlight that on the main page. So there it is, the Australians hanging out by a dozer. Okay. Anything else on 209? Okay.
Jacob, you
Well,
so just photos right there where you were, right, as a new file?
are you talking here?
No, like back in the node, like instead
Okay.
of uploading photos like there, you can upload in there. I
Oh,
think.
no, they have to be previously uploaded. So they already have to be part of the media library. So if you really wanted to see, oh, what's in my media library, right? Content, media library. What do we got for the telephone? And go here, apply the filter. And yes, so once they're loaded into the media library, then you can access them and put and highlight them. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so yeah, you have to, before you highlight it on your front page, you can't just upload it there. You have to go through the manage content media, add media, incident media item, and go through the process here of choosing a file, uploading, and then it says here, highlight on home page. We relocated it. So you have to go into the node and highlight it, right? So going back to our node, group unit search. You got to go through this process a lot when you're on Inciweb, and it becomes like second nature. So then you're back in the nodes, and then boom, edit node, and down towards the bottom, right here, incident highlighted images, and then you can weight them, which meaning you could say, I want this to be the last one. I want this to be the first one. So you can weight things, which means, yeah,
Just
it's
a
not.
second. Could you X one of those and try and load a new one? I just wanted to see something.
Oh, sure. Which one do we want to do? Okay, so we'll get rid of these Australians. Add media item. It opens the library. It opens the library to the whole Inciweb.
I guess I'm asking there where it says choose file. Is that a
Okay.
way to like up a little bit higher?
Oh, this one here. Yeah, maybe we could. Let's open the preset map.
Never had success adding there.
Yeah, I just don't do it. Save it.
Okay.
You may be able to do it like this. The medium has been created but not saved. So we could say, we'll see if it works. Precip. It's just not part of my workflow. So
Cool.
I just don't do it that way.
Gotcha. Yep.
Precipitation map. Well, let's try it since we're well, okay. Save and insert. Let's see if it works. There you go. I guess you could do it that way too. And we'll see if it saves. Save. And go back to here and see what happens. There we go. And let's see if it goes to the media item. If it goes to the library also. Yeah, that's one way to do it, but you can't caption it. You can't add the, see, it's not adding, it doesn't add the actual incident in it or the caption. But
Huh.
if you edit it here, then you can go back and say, oh, here we go. Yeah, you might as well go through this. It takes you back to the process, right?
Yeah.
So we can do it like that and save it, and then now it's in the library and it has, a little more
Cool.
legitimate. But yeah, so my workflow is always just taking that from the media library as opposed to doing it. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, good point there. I guess if you just wanted a quick thing in there, but it's not much difference, right, to do it. Shortcut, group unit search access, mile here, national forest, apply, click, nodes, and we're back. Okay. So you guys ready for part 3? Adding a incident publication. Okay. So if you want to do your update, your daily update, one of the features they added to make it very simple is you go in, edit your node. Well, actually, first we're going to go back to this one and we're going to unhighlight it. So this was yesterday's that's still highlighted. I said not highlighted and I'm going to save it. So now it shouldn't be there. That was there's a really cool feature. You go to edit node and you go to this top corner here. You can view, edit, unpublish, delete. You want to clone it for tomorrow. So this will be for tomorrow's update and it'll be there for me or Kale to take care of. So you take away the clone. Go ahead.
You don't want me touching that.
Right. So we get the title in there and the title Falls and Telephone Fire Update August 16th. I just say, hey, ballpark it. It's going to be 8:30. It's a news publication. One thing I do here is eliminate all this, so all the way down to the bottom, because we'll repost it tomorrow. So you can, it's not really, we'll chunk it away. Okay. So taking this all the way out of there, and then we know we have to redo it. And so one thing you could do is you have multiple incidents. So you're on a complex and you're getting, you have different pages for them. You can add as many incidents to your update as you have. So we have the falls in the telephone. That's a great feature. The clone feature and the multiple incidents feature is great. So you can add as many incidents as you want. You can also do some links to them and it populates kind of a highlight link at the bottom of the update. Say if you wanted to reiterate your Facebook or something, but you could also do it in here. And you could also do it like this with all of Inciweb. You can highlight the link, right? Then we can go to Facebook, Falls Fire, and you could take it here, copy, and paste it in here, right? So now it has a hyperlink. Like this will take you to the Facebook page. You can hyperlink anything with this, right? This makes building the information paragraph great. It makes your updates a little more robust because it's all hyperlinked, right? And you don't have to have it's almost having your bit.ly, having not having a long thing. You could have it like one letter. Click here, and hyperlink that, right? Highlight it, hyperlink, and then you can put anything in here. What do we got? Spotify. Yeah. Okay. You can put your Spotify in there. Click on Spotify or podcasts, right? There we go. So that's one of the better features. Okay, so a little update or recap. Clone. Put in as many incidents as you want in here. And in your update, you could hyperlink anything, and in anything that you write in Inciweb, you can hyperlink it. And then in here is where you add your files, your PIO map, your update, your let's see, falls, and that's the smoke outlook. So we'll remove these for tomorrow, so we know to redo them. And then
Are you limited to those three, or can you have more related information there?
oh, you can load it up, man. I don't
Load
really
it up
I haven't
right on.
I had like 5 or 6 on it the other day. I had like the lightning map, the precip map. I kind of put a bunch of things on, I think 2 days ago. So yeah, that's a great feature is that you can add a lot of files to it. But we always do the standard as a PIO, the PIO map, the JPEG of the update, and smoke report. That's your basics. And then you could, if you have a closure or something, a new one, you can also add that. And you can also add it to the closure feature too. So here you can do announcements or closures, community meeting announcement, closures, evacuation info could be news or announcement, right? Just depending on whatever your your IMT subscribes to. And now, instead of publishing it now, so we'll have it, it'll keep the 15th one because we cloned it, and this will be the clone of it. And then we'll save this, and it'll be ready for tomorrow to populate. So when we go in and we here, see, one of the glitches of Inciweb is we have to go through this again. Group unit search, Malheur National Forest, apply, Malheur, sorry, and then back into our nodes. And if we look in here tomorrow, this one will be ready. It's unpublished because I took the save off. And then when we want to go in tomorrow, we edit the node, we add, we populate it with the cut and paste, the body text, and then we can add all of our publications when they're ready. So that's some of the, the better features of it, of Inciweb. Looking at another thing, I know we've been, if we go to the home and we go to the falls incident, one of the things they've added is the ability to have real videos on it. And I think that's a lot of feedback they were getting that, hey, we need to have B-roll on here. So we've been putting these giant files on here. You can have 256 megabyte videos on here. So we've been loading it up a little bit, not over the top, but just adding some ops videos up here. I know some people in DC may not want that because they say it overloads the server, but we want to be equitable for those who don't Facebook. So then photo gallery, it looks better. It's good thumbnails. There's previous teams, AK, you guys blew it up, Sam. Also, there were a lot of good photos on here. So it just it's a lot cleaner of an interface. The most challenging thing is, okay, let's go. How do we get back to the nodes, right? Group unit search access, search for your forest, apply, wait for the little blue, hit it again, go to your nodes. That you have to do that every time you want to get back into this, to add a publication, whether that's I added the forest closure order the other day, the evacuation changes, which I think we got to update a couple once tonight or tomorrow. So, but in order to get here, you have to, that process is a little lengthy. But the easy one, what they made easy, I thought, was the content, the media, add media item right here. And this is how you'll get your maps, your photos, your videos in here. Highlighting them, right? You have to go back to your node, back to your incident, like you'd update the 209 information. So once you add your things, it's like going all the way back. You could do that shortcut as Scott had mentioned, but it just doesn't, I don't see the benefit to it because it adds and you don't add all the information.
Hey, Jacob.
Go ahead.
There's a practice site, right? Like the old one?
I believe so. So that would be in your login. So if you're going in here, Jay Welsh, view profile.
Used to be like prod or something.
I thought you got to it through FAMLA.
Let's see. Oh, all right. So if we go here, let's see if we can group unit access, user help. So there's your, so if you go to user help, you can hit the incident practice site here.
Okay, perfect.
So yeah, it's there to do it. And there's, looks like Drupal fire, Modoc lightning. It's pretty far from the Modoc, but I'll take it. Punky fire. So yeah, you can get in here and do that. What I'm going to recommend is trying to, get the hands-on experience with it, because, the only way to really be proficient at this is the repetition, right? I mean, it's etched in my brain. And even Kale has struggled at first. Like, it's not like he's a beginner at any of this, but he just didn't have the reps. And every year it's a refresher. You forget things. So walked a lot. I've walked a lot of folks through this, and yeah.
That means that we can reach out to you when we're stuck at any time, day or night.
Right. You just call me out. Okay. Okay. Just first take 2 deep breaths. Oh no, make that 3. And then we can, okay, turn your computer off, walk away. Okay. So
Real quick,
go
I'll
ahead.
say so a map. So you'd upload a map in the media library, and then you have to go into the map tab and add it to the map, or if you say it's a map in the media library, does it automatically go to the maps?
It automatically goes. So the that little icon. So when we go back here, right? Let's go here, manage content media, add media, incident media item. So when you go to your 3 different choices, it goes to the 3 different places on,
Cool.
so like on your home, right? So if let's go find a fire, the pencil fire, whatever's going on here. So it'll put you onto your last 3 tabs here, right? Just like when you go to your node. Okay, if we go to the node, which shortcut, group unit access, go to what forest you have access to, or what land management agency. Bam. So when you're doing your nodes, and we'll go to what's tomorrow. So when you go for these 3, they auto populate to the 3 here, right? Boom, boom, boom. And all the information is on your main incident node, right? Like updating your 209. So,
Sweet.
yeah. So it makes it pretty simple in that way. Yeah. Otherwise, and so the 3 things, right? Updating your 209, you go to the incident node and you update that, copy, cut, paste. That's the quickest way. Never take that 209 and try to type it in. It'll eat your lunch. So figure out a way to copy, cut, paste. Adding a media item. Adding the media item, we go to the incident media item. Boom. Manage content, media, add media, incident media item takes us to here, right? Auto populates there. You can't have your HEIF or any of your funky Apple versions, but with the map, right, you're going to have the first one's going to be a JPEG, a PNG, and the second one's going to be the PDF only. So, and it'll take it right to the map section. And your third thing is to get to your node and add a publication, group unit search access, go to your agency that started the page, click it, nodes, and go through, find your node, clone it, add it, or if you want to add a new one, you just add new content, publication, and then you could title it and figure it out. Say you want to add a new closure, you want to add a community meeting, right? You can highlight it, the highlight button over here. And I believe you can only highlight 3 different, it's always in 3s now. You can only highlight 3 media items or 3 publications. All right. Anything else before we call it?
Did I hear you say you cannot use the iPhone proprietary file, the HEIC?
That's a firm. You cannot use it. So that's why when we go through, right, and tell everybody, okay, let's go change your settings, change your camera setting to most compatible as opposed to most efficient. And that just changes that on the iPhone. So if you get kindly ask your good division, your productive PIO to, hey, let's change this so we don't have to change it, right? Because I mean, the Mac is easy to change it. You just go change your file name, and then you load it. But yeah, you can't use those proprietary Apple HEIF or any of that funky stuff. So JPEG most compatible, and that's that's something we always try to get everyone on the same page, right?
Live photos will also.
What's up?
Live photos will also sometimes get you too.
Live
Yeah,
photos.
right. We want to stay away from that too. Okay. Anything else now that we learned our three things: update your 209, updating your incident node, adding media item, finding that flow, right? That whole flow, and then adding publication. And to reinforce this all, I'm going to take what Richard sent and I'll put it in the chat so that everybody has access to the Word documents that kind of have the flow chart. But I think it's good to see it. It's good to have a guide to reinforce it. And it's good to also, do it.
Hi, Sam.
Hey, what do you think of the trim, Sam? I lost some hair.
I'll send you a bandana.
Yeah, I could use it. I need to cover it. Hey, it still grows back, so I guess I have that going.
Thank you very much.
All right. Hey, good night. I hope this was helpful. And once again, check the chat for the Word documents.
Thank you.
You're
Very
welcome.
helpful.
Cool.
Hey, I hit the record too, so you ought to be able to snag the recording down there. I didn't quite start it in the beginning, but it was
Oh, okay.
repetition enough that you ought to be able to snag it off there and have it.
Okay, cool. Appreciate that, Sam.
Thanks, Jake. That was awesome.
Yeah. Good to see you. Good to see you, Sam, man. I hope you're doing well. I missed you all up there, man. I was super bummed I couldn't come up.
And we almost had a big party.
All right. It went. It's great. All right. Hey, good night, y'all. Good to see you. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Are you out of here?